Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. Well, this time I'm going to show a baker's dozen more of comic books from my to be read box. So some of these may have been, I know I have some of them shown previously in previous episodes, like haul videos or something, and some I intend to do in-depth episodes on in the future. Might be months, might be years, I don't know. And so start off with this one from 1981, Rom, the Space Knight. This is number 25. Give you an idea. It says, beginning September 12th on NBC, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Remember that show? And yes, and that was on Saturday mornings. Remember when they had Saturday morning cartoons? This is a special double-sized issue, but two ROMs are not better than one. Oh yeah, it's like ROM against ROM. Let's see what that is. I used to get some ROM back then. Occasionally, I liked ROM. Of course, it was a licensed product, character from a toy that, or maybe it was the other way around. Maybe it started as the comic and then became the toy. I don't remember which, but I think it was licensed. And the toy did not do that well, but the comic book did, because it ran, or much better anyway, because it ran for 2 or 3 years. This is issue 25, so that's 2 years right there. And so I don't know how much more it ran after that. And I've got 1 or 2 other issues, I think, somewhere. Like this one's rough. Had Bill Mantlo, Sal Buscema. Yeah, I like Sal's art in this as well. It's a long one. It has a long primary story, which is continued, and then a shorter backup story, ROM backup story, which is not continued, so it's self-contained, and I like that. Better, but yeah, ROM, the Space Knight, is always good fun. And I guess someone else, I don't remember which publisher, more recently had published some ROM comics. I don't remember what it was. Then we go back. Well, this is actually about the same time. These are from what, 81 and 82, I think, or is it 82 and 83? I can't remember. From Whitman, which is an imprint from Gold Key, and I don't know if they were doing much in the way of. I think they had pretty much gotten rid of their Gold Key name at this time, and we're just producing the Whitman stuff, which was largely reprints, but not entirely. Multi-packs, like three books per pack of sold at department stores and the like. There's Dr. Soul or Man of the Atom, which I have covered here before. I think it did a couple of times from issues from the 60s. But these were contemporary stories, not reprints, new writers and artists. Oh, well, yeah. So here we have the Awesome King Cybernoid. Oh yeah, and of course, no more were they doing the painted covers. And some of the reprint stuff had line drawing covers based on the painted covers from earlier iteration. But these were, I think this particular drawing was drawn specifically for the cover, but they right after this is issue 28. So it was right after this they were just pulling drawings from the interior and putting them on the cover, and so they didn't have to pay an artist to draw, or especially not paint cover. And this is a complete story. This is Jose Delbo doing the artwork in here. Does it have any credits? I don't think it has any credits. There's no credits, but since the others are written by Roger McKenzie, I presume this was probably also written by Roger McKenzie. And yeah, I think it's Jose Delbo doing that. Some fun stuff here. This is Dr. Solar 29, Man of the Atom. And here's what you see, because this and this right here are directly from the interior. And of course, our lead this time, it has Roger McKenzie and Dan Spiegel. Dan Spiegel doing the artwork, who I've talked about many times here. But one of the things different is that they started doing backup story, basically rebooting Magnus Robot Fighter. This is a reboot. This was drawn by Frank Boll, who has done so much work at Gold Key over the decades, and the adventure stories, mystery stuff, you name it. And same goes for Dan Spiegel. They were both workhorses. They did so much, but this was about the time, or probably shortly after this, when Dan Spiegel moved over to DC and started doing stuff like Black Hawk and Secret Six and the like. We skip 30. I don't think I've ever seen one, but here's Dr. Solar, Man of the Atom, number 31, and it's pretty much the same. Roger McKenzie doing the writing, and this is real interesting. I just read this one. And Dan Spiegel doing the artwork, and then of course Roger McKenzie and Frank Boll doing the backup, Magnus Robot Fighter backup. And but right at the end, it says coming soon, Magnus in his own book. So I guess they were bringing back Magnus into see if this was basically a tryout to see if it would be popular enough to, I don't know. And I don't know if they did or not. I don't remember seeing any from that period, but they may very well be. So then we go here. We're still keeping with Dr. Solar, Man of the Atom, but this was from '93. It's like over a decade later, when Valiant got the rights to those characters and just ruined them as far as I'm concerned. But they had some nice artwork, and I wasn't thrilled. Magnus started out pretty decent, and then it just went goofy, and they all went goofy. I was never thrilled with any of the Valiant titles, especially the ones based on Gold Key characters. It had some nice artwork. Kevin Van Hook, who I don't know, with Peter Groh as the penciler, and Stan Drake. Is that the same Stan Drake who's a comic strip artist from the newspapers and did the Kelly Green? I wonder. It could be because it's some real nice work. The Kelly Green graphic novels. We'll see. Is it possible it's the same Stan Drake? Could be. Then, keeping with it, this is the second part of a 2-issue miniseries, and I've never seen the first one, I don't think. Between Dark Horse and Valiant, it's because at that time, Predator versus Magnus Robot Fighter. But this is I wish he had done a nice Barry Smith drawing. A cover drawing, but I'd like to have seen. It's beautifully rendered, but I'd like to have seen a better scene myself. But it's Magnus versus Predator. Dark Horse had had the rights to the Predator property at the time, and Valiant had Magnus Robot Fighter, and they were doing a lot of Predator and Alien crossovers with various publishers. But then this also included here a Predator versus Magnus, a pair of trading cards stapled inside. So that's kind of neat, and it's still there. But it had some nice artwork, good Alien, good Predator stuff. So then here we go. And we're keeping in the same time period. This is 93, I think it was. Wildstar from Image Comics. I was never terribly thrilled with Image. I got the first few issues of Wildstar. Here I have issues 2 and 3. And I did enjoy Wildstar. What was his name? Gordon. What's his name? Al Gordon. Al Gordon and Jerry Ordway co-created this character. And I did like it and follow it for just a little while. I don't think as a title it lasted very long. And here's issue 3. And this has Savage Dragon crossover, and of course they're fighting one another. Good guys always got to fight when they first meet, and then come together to fight the real bad guys. Okay, then here we go. Topps Comics. If you remember, Topps, the trading card company, yeah, and they were publishing comics for a while in the 90s. This is, I think it was 96 or 97. Has Hercules, The Legendary Journeys. I liked that show. And this is guest starring Xena, because Xena, of course, was a spinoff of Hercules. And so this features both Hercules and Xena. This is Hercules number 5. And this is a great Earl Norham painted cover, who had, for years and years, was doing Savage Sword of Conan and Masters of the Universe and stuff like that. So keeping with their theme, and some nice interior artwork. I don't know if I've read this. If I did, it's a long time ago. This is part 3, The Warrior Princess. Written by Roy Thomas, so it's probably decent. With Jeff Butler pencils, some real nice, and Steve Montano inking. But it has some real nice artwork, some good resemblances to the actors, and of course this is one I like, Kevin Sorbo, when he was actually not crazy, and. Not crazy and a hateful bigot like he is now. And then, but I still like the show. And here's from Marvel Comics. This is from 1990, issue 2 of, I think it was a 6-issue limited series, Warrior of the Mystic Realms, called Hero. I think I have 1 or 2 other issues someplace. And I want to read some of this, and I remember reading some at the time, and I enjoyed it, so. But I never read the entire thing. And some interesting stuff, and some nice artwork, and it's all fantasy all the time. Sword and sorcery, Dungeons and Dragons type, what have you. Then we have from, I forgot what year, this was 97, I think it was. Marvel Comics, Marvel Adventures number 8. This time featuring the X-Men. And I gather this was kind of an anthology title. Each issue was self-contained stories, unless it was like a 2-parter. And I don't remember for sure. I didn't get too much at the time. Written by Ralph Macchio of Mutants and Monsters. But I'm not thrilled with the artwork. Sorry, Andy Kuhn. It's just some grossly, it's pretty decent storytelling as far as I can tell, visual storytelling. I just am not thrilled with the stylization in some parts, but I can probably overlook it. It's not terrible. And but like this image figure here of the Beast is just atrocious. Right there. And then here we go to conclude issues 3 and 5 of Robert E. Howard's Savage Sword. Of course, the title is derived from Dark Horse, derived from Marvel Comics' Savage Sword of Conan magazine. This is 80 pages. These were 80 action-packed pages, and it was all Robert E. Howard characters and or stories. So it was an anthology, but some of them were continued stories. There's like a Conan and Jewels of Hestrom Part 3, so it's a continuing storyline. This is what, Brian McMorn, I think, Cormac McCart, something like that. Here's one, and it just kind of took me by surprise. Steve Harrison, and until just a few days ago, I'd never heard of Steve Harrison, but he is a detective character created by Robert E. Howard, and I didn't know he had. It was actually on another YouTube channel, BookTube, Michael K. Vaughn's channel, and he was talking on his Robert E. Howard show, and he was talking about mentioned Steve Harrison, who I hadn't heard of before, and then just looked through this, and there he is. Then, of course, it's reprinting this Cull graphic novel, which I have in the graphic novel form, and of course but it's broken into parts as well. And then issue number 5, Savage Sword, 80 action-packed pages, and it says Conan the King. This is Brandback-born, Men of the Shadows. That's I think it's based directly on one of the Howard stories. That's cool. And it also has, I think it's the entire thing. And this is one that was adapted a few times to comics, but this one was by Roy Thomas. And whether he did both of them or not, I'm not sure. But I've seen this this published elsewhere. I don't know if I've got it. Kings of the Night, which was a great Brad McMorn and Cull crossover. Is it Bran or Bran McMorn? Good. It's lots of good action and adventure, and that's my baker's dozen that I have to show you this time of action, adventure, fun, and slaughter. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Do leave your comments down below about any of these books, any that you would like to see a more in-depth reading on. Let me know. Some of them I will, some I may not. Let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics are art.